All of us in this industry have ridden dirt bikes and have a passion for dirt bikes. The uneducated general public to our sport probably presumes that these are more rebellious kids that throw their leg over a motorcycle and lead a pretty wild lifestyle. But the guys at the pro level, they take it very seriously.
Number one, you need to really like what you're doing, because the dollars and cents of running a team, a banker or an accountant would tell you you're a lunatic. There's an awful lot of things that have to go on. There's an awful lot of planning long before we ever get to the races.
With the amount of staff and riders and crew that we have, between scheduling, tests, races, getting the equipment to the races, it's probably the peak of multitasking.
Actually getting to the racetrack is by far the best part. It's the easiest part of my week. No matter what drama goes on during the weekend or what issues come up or whatever, it's absolutely the easiest part. During the week, you got political issues, you got sponsor relations, you got differences of opinion, but when you get to the race, it's not like that anymore. It's just no bullshit. Let's get it done.
I think that any one of the team managers that works for a major manufacturer, that's something to be proud of, and I cherish my job every day.
We try to get kids when they're really young. It's easier to deal with kids when they're amateurs and they're coming up through the ranks, and you try to work with them so that when they do come to the 125 class or whatever, we have a relationship with them. You sort of see them blossom a little bit and pick the ones that have talent.
The rider can't win without every element in place, and that's what we strive for. Make sure that all those elements behind the scenes are at the top level. So we have the top level of equipment, we have the top level racing team and the members that go along with it, and then the crown jewel is certainly the top level rider. And with those three elements all put together, you can be successful.
So much heart.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
And could you put your number on this hat? Thank you so much. You think I'm crazy now, don't you?
No,
I am.
Yeah, this lap I think is going to be his fastest lap.
He took off 25 foot of the track because he was in the inside. Right here.
That one race, he was wheeling through the whoops, and he said he was laughing after he got done, and he did it again the next lap because he goes, man, I want to try that again, and he wheelie through it again. Like big whoops that normally, some guys couldn't even barely go through them. I mean, they had a hard time going through normally. He would wheelie through them, and he was just laughing. He was just laughing in his helmet just because it was fun to do, and that's what I like most about him, because he has so much fun riding, and he learns new things, he tries new things, and it's really, really fun to watch.
We can't even get him just to, cruise around one lap without jumping all the jumps the first lap. Like I always tell him, let's go out and check it out, Don't jump the jump. Make sure your bike's good. Make sure that everything's working right before you go do all this stuff. And every time he jumps everything the first lap, and he probably goes as fast the first lap as he does the last lap of the race.
He rides more than anybody I've ever seen ride. He goes through a lot of gas. He goes through a lot of practice bikes, and at the beginning of the year, he was telling me his bike's worn out. We couldn't believe it. There's no way, but it was. He rides 3-4 times every day. He rides tankfuls.
The guy is so like into motorcycles. Like when we go to his house to test, there's motocross videos playing nonstop. He sleeps with the TV on. Motorcycles going in his head all night. We had stacks of tapes from Kawasaki. They had like Jeff Ward and Lachine and all those guys that were all on tape, and he took them all. He wants to watch all the old tracks and just learn from everybody. So he really studies it. Like he's into watching motorcycles 24/7.
Man, good job on the gate, I did. You did. Fire them up, fire in the hole.
Oh yeah, there's people that ask me all the time, this is all you do? You just come to the races on the weekend and work on his bike? Like, what do you do during the week?
I think probably what most people don't know is that the mechanics actually go there on like Wednesday. They're there working Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and go home Monday. And then back Wednesday again. So. Me? I don't take any days off.
Even when I work on the bike during the week, when I go to bed at night, like even tonight, I'll go through in my head everything I did to the bike today, and I'll remember every bolt that I checked. And yeah, it's hard just to shut it off and not worry about it. Like you still think about things, and like I'll wake up and write little notes that I want to remember in the morning. We all talk a lot, that's what's good. And we have to always talk about what's best for James. For us to always support him is the best thing. And if he has a problem with any other product or a bike or anything, we need to all work together to fix it.
I mean, there's a fun part and an exciting part of this job. It's a lot of work, but it's always changing.
I liked when you went to the left. You could carry more speed. Like your dad, the line you were telling him, it looked smoother there.
I mean, in the end, our job is to sell motorcycles. And that's why we all work on the team and do the best we can and keep James safe the best we can.
Kawasaki is a big supporter of our team right now, and you know, we have a lot of backing, company backing, which is very, very nice. And our company shows the spirit to us, you know, almost every day when we come here to work, and people kind of watch the results and say that's cool, you know, good race, and you know, it makes everybody feel good, you know, when they come into work.
If we're out there battling for the lead, it's showing our bike can be up there. So if he wins or not, it's still good for our company. For the first year out, it's been an awesome bike. I wouldn't say it's been perfect, but it's been close. I actually bought one, that's how much I like it. Yeah, good discount.
Our team's pretty good, and it's unique in a way, right? Because we're the only guys that have a true mix of like some full factory stuff as well as non-factory stuff. Basically, we're Honda's lights entity, so most of what you see as our staff are really geared towards the light side. Whereas the Kevin side of it, there's certain people that support that, but the technical side of it being Honda, we don't have actual staff members that do it.
Red the tits open, come on! Hey, there we go. You may not have felt better, but it looked better. Yeah, it kind of felt like it would pack a little while, and then it was...
Anything I can do for you?
No.
Anything you want to do to me? My job today is so different than it probably would have been 10 years ago. Hey guys, what's happening? It's okay with me. Let's hook the sponsor up.
I thought he was going to be a little bit faster than that.
He will be. It is a balance, but for me, you just treat everybody different because they are different, right? So I approach Billy different than I would approach Josh, and approach Mike different than I would approach Kevin. Hey, so what's the word with BL Leninovich? Good or what? The day, the track, the bike? The good thing about the young kids is that, for the most part, they're more enthusiastic. How come you're not wearing your lucky blue boots to go with your lucky blue gloves?
Actually, I got top 5 at Hang Challenge, so.
Yeah, so what about the one white, one black glove? What happened to that? That's no longer good luck?
Yeah, but that's one I really. That's when he needs to pull something out.
Yeah. Oh, you keep that in your back pocket?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You ready?
Whenever you see your teammates, you always want to beat your teammates for some reason. You always want to be the big dog under the tent, so. He said he landed on his head pretty good after a crash like that, and he just ready to go back to the truck.
When we started this race program, it was all about being here and being competitive. Being a small shop from New Hampshire, we had no business being in the 250 class with Mike LaRocco and doing as well as we did. But it was, to me, it was the Davy and Goliath thing. You know, I just wanted to be that little guy that threw the stone. I told you earlier about the days when Kevin's on, he's untouchable. And I've told Kevin that those are the days that make the legend of Kevin Windham. And he gets this kind of goofy smile, thinking that I've got a legend.
Are you recording? I have the best of both worlds. I get full-on factory equipment from Honda. I think that they have the most resources and can provide me with almost anything I ask for. It's just so good to have those guys backing me, bringing all that good stuff into an environment that I think is great for me.
Even though we're as serious about racing as anybody else, the environment that we're in is a little bit more low-key than like a Team Honda or a Team Yamaha, for example.
To me, it works well.
Oh, well. Well,
How about the track this week?
yeah, it looks like they've done a good job grooming it. I think it's definitely dry out there, but I don't know if I'd call it hard right now. By the end of practice, we'll see the base for sure. Right now, we'll just start off there until he comes back. He's walked the track. Did he say anything?
I haven't even seen him yet today. I don't even know if he's here.
He is here, right?
No, he's not.
He's not still flying in?
Yes, and he's bringing some parts that need to go on this bike. So once I see the parts, then I'll know he's here on the premises.
Okay. So we got lots of time before we need to make any decisions. Since 1992, I've never missed a professional race in the United States of America. I guess that's my claim to fame is the consistency. I mean, the riders really know that when they come and they have a tire question, it's going to be the same guy every week giving them the same type of information. Have that at 11, okay, Troy? We're far from like the factory teams. This is truly a service vehicle. It pretty much is a big warehouse to haul tires. We provide a full service to all of the racers, whether it's a privateer or Ricky Carmichael or James Stewart. And if it's a Bridgestone, we take care of it for them. You always want to predict where the track's going to be. And in order to do that, you have to watch practice. You have to watch the lines develop. You have to watch how, from the motocross lights class to the motocross class, how they may change the lines. A lot of what I do is kind of try to predict the future. Even though it's impossible to do, it's kind of why we're here. This is motocross, this is dirt bike racing. And as much as we think it's a science and we try to kind of get real analytical and technical on it or whatever, it still is the guy on the bike and it still is his world. And in my opinion, it's as psychological as it is physical. And the psychological part comes in if he believes
that his tire is going to get him a good start, or if he believes that his tire is going to be really good for those first 2 laps when it's wet and slippery, or if he believes that late in the race when things start to dry out and they get really hard and dry and slippery, if he believes that he's got what he needs then he has what he needs. I'll say the quote that I've always stood by is, if you have more than one guy, even when you win, you lose. It's really difficult to go and shake a guy's hand for winning the race and then immediately change your opinion and turn to the next guy, sometimes literally feet away, and say, what do we have to do to make it better? What do we have to do to get to where you want to be? Troy, you are still comfortable?
Yeah, front's a little washy.
Does it catch when it hits a berm or an edge, or it catches before that? Okay.
I think we're already on, if you're flat tracking the inside, it's already down the hard shit, huh? Yeah. I'm happy with the front.
Okay, and then we'll just go a little bit more hard pack on the rear.
What's like, yeah, in the hard pack, and then it pushes into that soft stuff.
Yeah. I think it'll push off enough where you'll be comfortable with the hard pack tire.
Yeah, we had the qualifier too. So.
Yeah, so might as well get used to it in practice, right? Yeah. What's this one doing?
Pushes in the mud just like this. You know, it's like
okay.
It needs something to bite into.
You're looking good. You're putting some good laps in out there. You look like you're flowing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you try too hard, you get carried away. You know, like you get frustrated. It's slow. You know. Yeah. Integrity is something that you can never substitute for or replace. And even though I'm only one person and I deal with a lot of different teams and a lot of different riders, I have to force myself to be a different person for each rider, for each team. What are your thoughts, Ryan, tire-wise?
It's got a hard base to it.
Yeah.
It does now anyways. I don't know how it'll be tomorrow.
It'll be harder. Yeah, the slipperiest off-camber, flat, hard corners you've ever ridden.
They don't till it up and get it nice?
Nope. Mr. Carmichael. Goose, he actually wants to try something on the rear with a little more grip, but stay with an intermediate tire. Do you want us to just take your other new wheel, or do you want us to take this one here? Give me 4 minutes. At the end of the day, we can build a tire for Ricky Carmichael, but if it doesn't end up to be something that we can sell to the consumer, that we can actually justify being out here with the expense, we got to see if we can do this fast. You know, winning races with Ricky is great, but at the end of the day, it's really business. Thanks, guys. You guys are getting good at that. I think we made it.
You hit me with that wheel and I'll knock the shit out of you.
Promise?
Yeah. You know they have a dry cleaner place in Temecula?
I can't find it.
I know that. You wanted to clobber me with it.
After.
I don't blame you, but I used to race off-road and desert races, and I got hurt when I was 17. After I got home from the hospital and was at home, I wanted to do something really to stay busy. It was my way of staying in the sport. You know, I had to do something. I didn't want to just sit at home, and the way I looked at it, if some other guy could do it, I could do it.
You need to smooth out a little bit. You look really good, but you're like fourth, fastest. Come on, come on! Ryan's got a pretty good lap going, Bones, so maybe he'll jump up on top right here. You ain't got to be fastest guy every week in practice. That's all right. Put some hunger in it. Are you all good? Don't want to change anything or anything? Everything's good?
I don't think he's up to speed yet.
No.
He said it was just real muddy in places.
And he was sliding around a lot too.
If it doesn't rain anymore, I think it'll be awesome. The whole reason to have the race team is to drive the business. The business has to be number one. The business is more important. The race team it's time consuming, and unfortunately it is something that I consider to be like my passion or my hobby.
Ryan did a couple times. The first lap he did it. It looked kind of shitty where Hessler was right in front of him, but it's definitely a passing line. But I think once they get the groove burned in there a little bit, it'll be pretty good.
Is it hard to get into it?
It's awesome to get in, but it's
then hard to get out.
Rocks on the getting out. Did you see me trying to jump up? Jump out of it like on the throttle.
Hey, you're good on the coming up to the finish line where you cut in and then you jump up.
Oh, yeah.
because when you're jumping, you're still turning and you're carrying a decent amount of momentum. And it's easy to, like I saw a couple guys, I know they were a little slower, but it's easier to, it's easier to kind of cut people off right there. Without having to slam them.
First segment, second, third. You were fast in segment 2.
I was fast on both, except for the third one.
Okay, bud, rip their heads off. Obviously you want talent, but if there's a kid that is maybe not quite as natural, but you see really good work ethic, I'd pick that kid over the really gifted one, because the gifted one gets it easy, and those guys sometimes don't have the tendency to put in the work. I don't think I was the talented one, you know. I think I was decent, but I don't think anything ever came really easy.
Whole shot, make it easy on yourself. Get away from it quick.
Troy came off the gate crooked, all crooked.
Hey, you gotta focus! Come on, Bubby.
Troy went all the way to the bottom of the hill, and that's how Ryan got Troy. And then he went back up the hill, and he jumped over Ben's bike from the freaking rut.
Let's go, BT!
Can you get a position on Troy for me, please?
Your guy go down?
Yep.
Good job, guys. Let's look at Townley's bike, and let's look at Adam's bike if we can, really close. And everybody back to the truck as fast as we can get there. Troy rode actually pretty good, you know it?
Yeah, he did.
Still probably could have shifted going down that straight. I really think that we get some kids that are just maybe okay, but because they come here, I really think if you ride for us, you're expected to win. Good job, Kyle.
Sorry for screaming in the headset, I get a little pumped.
You should get pumped.
We work really hard. You know, we don't cut corners or anything.
No play in the clutch.
There's what?
No play in the clutch.
0.
It's tight bit too much. He said it was slipping too toward the end.
Yeah, it was. You know, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of hours, and the race team's a lot of work and a lot of hours. It's not easy. Let's check the water immediately.
Clutch, water, case.
Yeah, look at the case. Let's do all the shit. Let's make sure everything's all right. No DNF. Well, tell me something. We've been really lucky that the guys that I like, or that maybe they like me, they realize that the reason they're going to either stay with our team or use our product is they know that I'll do anything for them. In the beginning of that race, you were in a good position. All those guys are right there, and I thought you were going to get by Hepler, and then you started following their lines. You weren't moving around. You were revving the shit out of the bike. You weren't shifting. All that little pack of nerds are the guys that you're going to have to race. So you got to see them, you got to be around them, and you're just going to have to work on getting around them all. I mean, they're not faster than you. I mean, you probably had a bad moto. That's their good motos every week. That's as good as they do. Hey, they'll be down. It's your first frickin' race. If I was a satellite team and looking for the recipe for success, you know, I would think it's hard work, dedication, good mechanics, good equipment, being organized at the races. It's hard. It's 10 things probably. All right, I'm turning off.
I have a background as a racer, so I know as far as maybe on the rider's end what they feel at times. I've had my downs, I've had my ups. Just stepping in just before the outdoors, and you know, I feel like I got a big workload right now, and just making sure everything's perfect that needs to be.
Next best in Jordan is 29.9.
Every team manager's dream is to bring home that championship.
And he does have real tight S section over there, really good. But I'm not so sure coming down the triple thing.
Yeah.
But he's got the right line there.
Maybe tell him about that, because he wasn't sure when he did the parade lap what should be better. If you're going after a championship or even a national win, the amount that goes into it is phenomenal anymore. Keep your eyes open for lines.
Michael Lessie is he's enthusiastic about riding. He loves riding, loves the outdoors especially. there's a handful of guys that are more than capable of winning. A couple years ago, bad start, you could run up through the field, get up in there, but now top 10, that's a tough deal right there.
Of the KTM 4-stroke, and Villapoto is hunkering down. He's going after the 800. He got roasted, and all of a sudden Villapoto took advantage of it and went around him. And here's your overall winner of the day, Ryan Villapoto.
We had a lot of points on short, but we lost a lot on the pro.
Well, you know what? All it takes is one weekend, though. It's a long series. A lot of motos.
It's not like so consistent, right?
You know, you get on a streak. The group of people that are around you have to understand what you really want. You go 3, he goes 3. You go 2, he goes 2. That's all it is. Okay? Don't think about it too much. He just needs to believe in himself and keep working at it.
Closest thing we got.
Okay, that's fine. No panic. Okay, just ride the racetrack. You'll be fine. They're down there to pick you up in case you go over the hay bale. It's what we practice in every day, except we just don't have 40 people with us. You always look forward to this and you think it's going to be, you know, like easy. You know, the nerves are still there, you know. You're racing with guys that, you know, like Langston and those kinds of guys, I mean, that have done it. And some people have some reputations, and you're just 16 years old and you're out there with men. It's a little scary, but it's good. Good job. All you got to do is just pick you a little bit smoother lines. You know what I'm saying? He did what he needed to do. If I can get a little bit of help, we can go out there and walk that a little bit. I think that would be awesome to do.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was just kind of trying to ride around because I was so nervous.
But 3 laps in a row, you coming up that hill where you're so good, and you go over that hump and you go to make that left, you come down that outside.
Like that, I know.
And Nathan,
I thought I could make it work. That's why I did it 3 times.
Right, right.
You know, I tried to wheelie it in the beginning or try to hop into it or something like that.
So we know that's
right.
Not there no more, right?
I was just happy to be there.
I don't think people are expecting him. From what I've seen so far, there's no reason why he couldn't be, you know, in the top 5, top 10. It wouldn't surprise me.
You want to make a good showing? Do it. You just don't do something stupid. But you know you can do it. Get in that zone. Don't forget to just ride the brakes in real quick. I'll meet you down there, all right? Just remember, you got to let it flow over the rough stuff. Gas it, not on the brake. You got to be on the gas over the rough stuff. And not a lot, just a little, okay? Zach's 4th. job. And you know what? They got to go back a long way to find a rookie that started out with a 6th his first moto. Pretty pumped. I mean, we were hoping we could come out of here with some points. We were really waiting to get back east, but really excited. We just really kind of got started, so with a little bit more work, I think he can see it now.
He was coming, but he would catch me over here, and then I'd pull away from him over here, and he never really gained
Did a good thing. Proud of you, dude. Awesome.
Josh Hill. It's cool to have somebody new under the tent, and cool to have like a lights class bike under there. Everybody's been talking about it, but we've been busy doing our thing, and then they've been testing with him a little bit.
Hoping there's gonna be a couple inside gates open, so that's what I'm
Oh, there we go. Now he's racing. Oh, gosh, come on! He got his foot caught in the swinger. Get them butterflies out.
It's like I can't go through the roof.
And I'm hitting bumps, and just a bump, like a G out type thing.
Was it as bad or better, or?
It was still pretty bad.
I said the carburation was worse.
What?
It's just the carburation's worse.
If there is a problem, then the team will sit down and analyze the information that we have and the direction we want to go. We'll make some changes and we'll head to the next practice session or race.
Rookie, I'll give it back to you in a sec. I'm in a hurry.
Like a completely different rider today than he did at Millville. Josh Hill right now is in a podium position. This is only his second weekend as a pro. He's the first factory Yamaha rider straight from the amateurs in 10 years. Coming across the line in second is Josh Hill.
On the bike, like I was making pretty good passes, I thought. So.
You did really nice passing.
I was going through ruts and I couldn't even, all I could see was roost. So it was like I was just going by feel everywhere.
We are a pretty tight group of people, and we're all kind of focused on, being there for the right reasons. If you're around people that you enjoy, a lot of the time it makes those hard weekends a little bit easier to deal with. Chad Reed, number 22. We've had some good years. He's pretty determined to get to the top one way or another. The whole team and his whole team and everybody together, wants to be competitive week in and week out. It isn't just one person, it's a lot of people. It's not an easy task, but it sure is fun.
Where's that, Rob? 10? What was the last adjustment you made?
I hit a hay bale down there and hit my chin or something.
You're all right. There's nothing there. The handlebar or something hit him in the chin, and there's no mark on there or nothing, so he's all right.
7th in time.
Yeah, okay.
2.5 off Alessi.
He still says he has a little bit more time he can go.
Our goal when we came back was to at least win a race before this season was over.
Just be smart out there. Ride your own race. Don't worry about anybody else. What's he at, 7 or 8?
I was kidding with him. I was like, you know what? Those other kids probably, they didn't know what to do because they're not used to seeing you up front. You know, you don't get good starts. So all of a sudden, there you were, and they're probably like, man, what the heck? There's Hepler. Brock's the Iceman.
After I get hurt, it's like, man, I don't even remember feeling like without pain. I'd like to see how fast I could go whenever there is no pain.
All we need is one more. We can wind up in second.
6th. Good job. 2nd overall. Good job, guys. That's a good comeback. I thought he could do a top 5, but I didn't, you know, he did better than that, so good. Any comments on the bike?
He says everything's good.
It's good?
Yep.
I enjoy working with the bike. I enjoyed the technical part of it. And before I became a rider, I worked in a motorcycle shop to earn my money to buy a bike. Through my years as a factory rider with Suzuki, I did a lot of testing, and I was always interested in how an engine worked, how things work, you know, chassis, engine, suspension. And I really like that part. I don't like the paperwork part of racing, but you know, you have to do it too. I think in every sport today, it's become so competitive that you have to do it 100%. You cannot do it 5 days a week, you know, 8 to 5. It has to be something that you want to do above anything else, you know, that it takes priority over everything you do.
It happens so fast, all this stuff does. It's amazing. And people say, isn't it awesome, you know? And yeah, it's been awesome, but at the same time, I don't have time to reflect on things. We're doing interviews and photos and this and that. Tomorrow we're racing, and then, you know, first thing Monday morning, we're headed back to Florida.
It's like you would just live from event to event to event. You forget what month it is, what day it is really. You just know you have this event you're going to, and as soon as you leave that event, you're planning. I mean, as soon as you leave it, you're planning for the next event. And you get home and people say, hey, where were you this week? And it takes a second for you to think backwards and go, man, I just left there yesterday. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was in such a place, because you're already figuring on everything that needs to be done for that next event.
So I said, if we clinch the title after the first motor, Ricky said, we don't need to race second motor. I go, no, we take the easy up out there, land a bunch of lawn chairs, there you bring the go. beer, just sit on the track, get hammered, and just cheer you on.
I'm very fortunate for the people that I have in my circle. You definitely have to have a strong team around you. That's been a huge attribute to my career. You know, I try to make it fun, and I feed off them, and they feed off of me.
Ricky is really fun to work with for me and the whole team and the mechanics, everybody, because he knows that the guys on the team, there's a lot of people behind him that work hard, and he shows appreciation for it. And unfortunately, many riders, especially young riders, don't. You know, they think everything is owed to them. Usually the best riders, they're the most open to listen, and they listen to what you have to say, what you have to offer, and see what applies to them, and they're good at filtering. They take what's good, you know, what fits them.
Good job, man.
Good boy.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, dude. That was awesome.
What a way to do. Good
retirement package.
On it, dude. Thanks, dude.
No, thank you.
Wow, no, get out of here.
You know, Ricky has been very consistent, but he has been doing it for a long time with more intensity than anybody else. So I understand where he is coming to the point like that it's hard to stay motivated to do it 100%. He's not 100% only on Sunday. He's 100% every day of the week, every day of the month, you know. I raced a lot. I wanted to win every race I was at, but I took some days for fun also during the year. Ricky is like so focused. It's like I've never seen anybody like that. The guy is 25 years old and he's won 14 championships. He's won more championships than most of the riders have won races. Sometimes people view the power of a team based on the size of the factory. There is also advantages on being small. You know, you're more flexible, you can change things quicker usually. I feel that the support what we can give to our rider is as good as any team out there. I personally am not afraid to race against any other team.
It's a joint effort all the way around, and being the head of the pin, it's every day there's just a lot to do. You're like this little army of guys, and you know, you got to get everybody going in the right direction. You got too much to do. You got 4 strokes now. It's like working on a car. You know, nothing's easier. The only thing missing is a steering wheel and a windshield, really. We'll see what happens. Metcalf looks good. Seems like the slickness, it ain't even bothering Metcalf. He's going for it. There's Walker over there. I just seen Walker rolling through the rhythms. Is he all right? Frenchie, did you see it? Hey, Frenchie said some guy clipped you?
Landed right in the side of it. The handlebar went up and my stomach went right into it.
Want to put some ice on it? Matt Walker, he's an awesome rider, talented rider. Cocky, as they say. To me, that's good. If a fighter walks in the ring a little bashful, what's going to happen to him? Brett Metcalf had a 2-year deal. The thing I like about Brett is he's tenacious. He always tries. Gets angry when he doesn't do good. You know, if a guy just sloughs it off, you wonder what's in his head.
Everything is coming together for this season. You know, I got the bike, got Rhino, and that's helped a lot. The best way to describe our relationship is almost like he's my bigger brother kind of thing.
How is it? Andrew McFarlane, he's a GP guy, 28 years old. It looks to me like you're not going like race speed, you know?
I'm on a sweeper, you know, when it's slick, it's like nice like that, you know?
Is it worse today with that? Because that'll make the front end maybe a little nervous. No matter how you do it, you always seem to be a day late and a dollar short. No matter how organized you try to be, there's always something you could be missing. There's always issues. There's always issues. See the way the turn comes out now?
It'll be all right.
Yeah. Up. I don't know, there's a pretty good rut. I don't know. Come on, Walker, 2 more guys, 2 more guys. Got 1 guy, 11. Got another guy. Great start. What happened?
It's the same thing as it's been in every practice. The front end keeps watching on me.
My goal is just to make him happy so he can go fast. The rider being the rider, they can say anything they want. The mechanic, if he makes a mistake, it's huge. If he leaves something loose, it could be catastrophic for the rider or it could just be a DNF. But in other words, the team, there's no errors allowed on the team.
There's a lot of work. What you see here today is a very finished product. People don't realize how much time goes into these bikes, whether it's a training bike, the test bike, or the race bike. Always a 24-hour job. Hey, we gotta go.
everybody speaks of experience. Not that rookies are a bad thing, we just went for experience because we're just trying to get it done.
It's a pretty tight-knit group, and coming from Australia, I almost seemed to fit right in.
I never raced Brett in Australia. It's funny, we always find ourselves on the track together in some part of the moto where, you know, with two blue bikes racing around together. I think we also want to be the best rider on the team too. You know, it's a little bit of animosity there as well. Probably the biggest surprise was at the first round. Both Brett and I stand on the podium was probably a little surprised for me. I said if I could finish top 3 in the outdoors, then I would be happy. And I was going in that direction, but unfortunately didn't get there. You know, in all that said, the team's worked hard, and both Brett and I have worked hard to achieve those results too.
Just keep the progress, man. And it's an uphill battle. Just keep going.
Can you send somebody over to Motorsport real quick and grab a Danny Smith front and a Danny Smith rear? And I want to put a 42 on the front and a 756 83 NP, 190 on the rear. Every year they keep bringing in more and more sand from this pit next door. So this track's a lot softer than it used to be. I thought they'd water it a little bit more. Everything's almost one, like all this shit's like one line that they put in. Well, that has two good lines, but all this other stuff like that, there's nothing. All right? There's some powdery stuff out there. Yeah, up on top and yeah. Is that 56 all right on the front?
It's pretty good actually.
Good.
It's more powder burn than anything.
Maybe try a different front. All right. All right? No problem. We don't make it in a 100. No. It's either this or a 120. Hey, David. What do you think?
The front was horrible.
You said that every week. I told him he's never happy. First practice, he's never happy with tire. All right, Millsy? No big dramas? This is a new, you haven't run this front yet. It's the 742 FA. It's in between the 42 and the 712.
It feels good in all the new sand sets.
Yeah.
I feel like it's pulling.
That's for Kyle's. I'll bring it over when I'm done.
Okay.
The track's new in places, so guys are a little unfamiliar with what setup they want, but it's pretty normal to try a couple things with the faster riders. As the sand pushes off, we see how much hard pack Dur is exposed to decide if we can run a less aggressive tire or not. It's a Lessie hole shot secret right there. Redbud is a really, really deep start. You tend to run a more aggressive tire here just because the start is so soft, and 90% of the riders, they'll pick a tire that's best on the start any day versus what it does on this track. I was brought up that in the end, it's the rider's decision to live with. Even if I think he's not making the best choice, I'll let him know what we think. But in the end, I let him make the decision, because if they have an issue or they crash, they got to be confident in what they chose themselves. We support a lot of riders. I mean, we feel like we're part of every team, part of Team Honda, KTM, Moto World, Triple X, whoever it is. We think we're a key part of that team because we can help them with some performance advantage. There's not one rider that we've worked with that isn't appreciative and doesn't, they really appreciate everything you do for them, and they understand that you're part of what makes them succeed. And it's good. It's a great part of the sport.
It started off basically just going to do a two-man team out of like a you know, the little Laraco type rigs, you know, one of those type of setups. And then it just grew into something big, you know. Basically we jumped full boat into the, you know, the 4 or 5-man team semi, and so it was a lot of work, you know, and the whole thing took off really late in the year.
Nothing like testing during a race.
But we're all a bit disappointed because everybody that's involved, you know, we're not beginners at it, so we were hoping to be up front racing anyways.
That's a wrap, ladies and gents. That's a wrap. This suspension is a joke. Jesus Christ, man. How the do they expect him to race with something like this? Bunny Rabbit would handle better than this thing.
Bunny Rabbit?
Bunny Rabbit. Oh, Bill's pipes, they really did try hard. They tried. It was just a beast that was too tough to conquer. With all the problems we had, me and Mike, I think we got closer than what we were last year. Just with me and him, it was me and him privateer last year, and that's kind of what we had to do this year, is kind of take everything under our own and just, I mean, handle it.
You know, I don't know, it's just, you got to deal with it. You know, we've had to deal with a lot of adversity this year, you know, or it seemed like anything that could go wrong has went wrong.
I told him, I says, after this weekend, knock on wood, you better be in the top 10, most assuredly in the top 20, so that we are with those guys next week. But he's only as fast as the guys that he's around.
Always.
If he's with slow guys, he'll go slow.
For me, this is a whole new deal. Riding a 450, racing it, you know. I mean, I think it's a handful to hold on to for 40 minutes.
All right, don't mess with these guys. Just get around them and get away. On the outside. Come on, too much. 5th. 6th. Hambone with a start. Come on, cut it to the inside. There you go. All right, let's go. Okay? Did you get stuck way out in that soft step on the start? Because you had a good jump.
I got pushed out.
You've got to hold tough, dude. You can't let all those guys get you. Your last lap was good. You started going to the outside and working around people because they're all, see them? They're all taking the same lines. Everybody's snailing up, and you got to go the other places and make it work, dude. So there's 2 guys faster than you. Oh, well, they're faster than anyone else on the planet. So, hey, that's not too damn shabby, brother.
Maybe it's the new tattoo.
It must be, Mom and Dad, you know.
From like an outsider's point of view, looking in, the team was, to say the team was horrible, but being on the team and just seeing how hard everyone did work, and it's just a bummer. It's just something that didn't work, but everyone put in 100%, and I mean, I'm happy with it. I know I put in 100%. everyone at the team did, so I can't really ask for anything else. Jason, you know, Jason's kind of a hard kid to get to know. It seems like the people that like me really like me because they get to know me, and the people that just know me a little bit or might have seen me do something they don't like it. I'm sure that's why a lot of people have some negative things to say. I guess it's kind of changed now. It's not just someone will hire you just to perform on the motorcycle. You need to perform on the motorcycle, you need to be respectable off the track. You can't get in trouble because everything's attached to the sponsor's name. I mean, it's like Jason Lawrence, Rockstar Suzuki, so anything that I do reflects on them. So I guess the only thing there is for me to do is just hang out on the computer all day, just train a little bit, go on the computer, don't leave the house anywhere where I can see the cops or anyone like that. Right now, I think a lot of people are thinking, you know, well, what's this kid really done? But he really could do it. If he came out with the right frame of mind, he could shock some people.
Where's Davey doing?
Davey Millsaps.
What?
Davey has definitely a little bit of prankster in him. It's hard to tell sometimes when he's being serious and when he's joking around. He can keep a straight face even when he's you know, lying through his teeth.
Why you gotta shut him off, Bob? Make you work?
After, you know, winning the East Coast Championship for us on the Supercross, we all discussed it and came to the decision that it would be a good opportunity for him to ride the 450.
Steel City. Went all the way to dead last.
Where's TB?
We already did a goggle.
I just kept pushing and pushing, and I could see my mom cheering for me. See Carlos out there with the pit board. And it just kept me going.
I like to see him finish and charge to the end. I mean, to me, that's just a podium for me. Don't quit, ride hard, all the way to the end. And it pays off. I mean, he did good. I'm happy with it.
Thank you, Eric. I do love my job. Yeah, we do. We get along really good. We have a good time. And that's half the battle, if you get a good group of people.
Honda has this stigma that we're the big bad company. Maybe sometimes people look from the outside in going, oh, be careful, you don't want to ride over there. We sell the most products. We're the largest motorcycle manufacturer in the world. We have the most championships out of everybody. But the one thing here, if you have the ability to win, we have all the tools in place for you to win. There's 52 people that work on the Honda racing team now, and there's 6 riders. They may make a lot of money, but you know, in an instant, something can happen. And we had a rider recently this year get injured and is going through rehab right now, Ernesto Fonseca. That just is a reminder for all of us that it's a dangerous sport. Overall, he's phenomenally strong mentally, going to be an aspiration to everybody. I think that's what will make him a true champion too. I don't think we should ever shy away from the scary parts of our sport. And you know, what we need to do is face them face to face and address them and do what we can to improve.
You know, part of having a suspension expert and an engine expert and all these other elements behind the scene is to make it safer for the rider.
We've got a great crew that works really good together, and we really strive for a team atmosphere. Communication is really key, and understanding everybody's needs, because that changes from week to week. I miss the competition, but I kind of live through their experiences. You know, the sport has gone to, you know, a different level from when I was racing it. I actually just kind of stand there in awe. It's fun watching these guys, but I'm glad I'm not racing right now because these guys are going fast.
A lot of guys that are heroes in Supercross are nothing outdoors. That's just the way it is.
It's a tougher, more wide open, hang from your seat.
I like it because it's true motocross. Seeing your guys in the heat of battle and a great battle with somebody is an awesome thing.
There's a lot of satisfaction in being part of a winning organization. That's what it's all about.
But I like seeing other people succeed. I think that's awesome.